You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Here goes AD. Throwing it down! How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire!
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q chiming with you on podcast 260 on the Pelican post-game report. That's right, podcast 260 as we keep perusing and moving along. And in this podcast, we'll be covering the Pelicans 116-111 loss to the Denver Nuggets. And we'll also recap this game with our customary stats, facts breakdown. We'll also have interviews from Coach Gentry to hear his thoughts, and we'll preview the Golden State Warriors game. But before we get into all of that, let's start by giving you, that's right, you new and established listeners of the Pelican Post Game Report, a big round of applause for joining us on tonight's show as we get ready to talk about them Pelicans, man, and what to talk about. They give you a great start at 4-0, which is spectacular, and then they drop 2. Now, of course, we talked about from the previous show, the first loss against the Utah Jazz, the Pelicans to win the game. But I said that hopefully this won't be the start of a losing streak. Sometimes I get the feeling, sometimes I be fighting against myself on the calls I be making because I commonsensical use the roster and look at things. The Pelicans have enough to win games without Anthony Davis. They had enough to beat Utah. They had most certainly had enough to beat Denver. But ultimately, what it comes down to is coaching. You have to be able to know how to use these players off the bench. We know you know your 5 players starting. But when it comes to players off the bench, I still think Coach Gentry struggling to find the right mix of guys off the bench, which is not hard. Just look. If you got eyes, you got 4 of them. You got 4 eyes, use them. This is what I said. I've been saying this for a while. Dell Demps is willing to make trades to improve the team. He sent out Alexis Jinka, who we wasn't going to use anyway, and brought in Wesley Johnson. Now, Wesley Johnson, we know he's not a great three-point shooter, although he hit a couple of shots in the previous game that ultimately helped the team come back within 8. Now, I talked about this, and I won't spend too much time about this, but the game against Utah, they should have won that game. The only problem is that L. Gentry, when he's seen Utah's Quentin Snyder putting back in his starters, he should have put in more than just Drew Holiday. He let Nikolai Mirotic not play that entire fourth quarter. To me, that was stupid. And I don't like to throw the term stupid around, but I'm going to throw it around. That was stupid not to play Nikolai Mirotic in the fourth quarter. He's your best offensive weapon outside of Anthony Davis. I think he's a better weapon than Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's defense is first and his offense is second. Nikolai Mirotic is known as an offense barrage shooter. You should have had him out there when they got within 8 points. Crazy part about it is, in this game against Denver, the Pelicans actually had a chance to win this game. It comes down to turnovers. How are you going to win this game with 22 turnovers? And it's just mind number to me. Anyway, before I even get into breaking the game down, let's get some statistics, because when I show you the stats, then I'll come behind with the commentary, because it's not quantum physics. It's not astrophysics. It's not hard to do it. It's really not. All you have to do is pay attention to the players and what they bring to you on the team. He needs to discover his bench lineup. That's what he needs to do. And I really do think that E'Twaun Moore needs to come out of the starting lineup and be on the bench. And he needs to institute another player at that 3 position. Bring in another guy. Bring in Wesley Johnson. Bring in somebody that's not Solomon Hill and play him at the wing position, please. Because E'Twaun Moore would do better on the bench than he would be using him again as an undersized wing. You don't have to do that when you got these other guys there. His scoring would do better off the bench. And I was hoping that they do that, but he continues to do the same foolishness he did last year. But anyway, let's get into the stats. 116-111 loss. Horrible loss here to the Denver Nuggets. Another team we should have beat, but we're going to use the excuse, well, Anthony Davis wasn't there, Q. Anthony Davis wasn't there. If Anthony Davis was there, we would have won the game. And see, that kind of thinking to me is really foolish, because Anthony Davis, he's going to miss games, y'all. You better believe it. So every game Anthony Davis misses, you mean to tell me we don't have enough of oomph or firepower to beat a team like Utah or Denver without him? And best believe, I know these are good teams. But if the Pelicans would have played the right way, they would have beat these teams. These teams didn't blow the Pelicans out. Well, Utah did at first, until the Pelicans got them back in the game. game, but that was coaching that hurt them. That was coaching. If you want to hear what I got to say about that, listen to the Utah show. But anyway, here's the statistics about tonight's game. Let me take a deep breath because this is going to take a minute. The Pelicans shot 43 of 82 for 52% from the field. That's not bad. The Nuggets shot 42 from 93% for 45%. Now they got 10 more attempts and they hit one less shot. What was the difference, Q? Look at the three-pointers. Not much there. 11 of 24 by the Pelicans for 46%. The Nuggets shot 11 of 35 for 31%. Free throws, 14 of 20 for the Pelicans for 70%. 21 of 23 by the Nuggets for 91%. Remember what I said about the free throws. Now, you said, well, Q, they hit 14 of 20 for 7%. But if they would have hit at least 4 more free throws, they would have tied the game. It would have, you don't want to lose game on free throws. Total rebounds 50 to 48 for the Pelicans. They did a terrific job on the defensive end, 37 out rebounding the Nuggets, 32 in defensive rebounds. The Pelicans and the Nuggets were tied with assists. And of course, the Nuggets steals 14 to 8 on the Pelicans. That's major. 5 blocks apiece. And this is the key stat. 22 turnovers in this game. 22 freaking turnovers, in which they gave up 27 points off of those 22 turnovers. How many did their counterpart give up? Just 13 for 18 points. So as you can see the difference there, then they out fast broke them 13 to 9, and of course points in the paint was tied. So you were tied with assists, you were tied with points in the paint with this team. They had more personal fouls and whatnot, 25 to 17, but that's null and void. Turnovers. If you underline the stat, look at it, and understand that turnovers, undisciplined team make turnovers. When you play this fast, they're going to turn the ball over. It's going to be nights where they're just winging the thing all around. If you're going to play fast, you got to play as fast and as disciplined as you can. You got Etwan Moore moving without the basketball, kicking the damn ball off his foot, doing silly stuff like this, not paying attention to what you're doing. That's because they're playing fast, but not playing fast disciplinedly. Anyway, before I even get into the individual statistics, let's hear what Elvin Gentry got to say, man. I need some help to understand this. Gentry, what the hell going on, man? Why your team lost 2 games in a row? Here's El Gentry to explain it to me.
We turned the ball over. Down the stretch, we turned the ball over. I thought we did a really good job of fighting our way back in, and we got it to 2 points, and then we proceeded to turn it over 3 straight times. So. At the end of the day, I thought that was really the difference in the game. I think we had 22 turnovers for 27 points. And, you can't turn the ball over against a really good defensive team like these guys are. And, we just had a little, miscues here and there. And when you let them build a league like they did, then you have to have the perfect storm to be able to come back and complete the comeback and be able to win the game. And what we did is that we fought like crazy. I'm really proud of the guys. I thought our bench did a great job. Chet came in and gave us great energy. I thought Frank Jackson played tonight like we feel like he's going to play for us most of the season. And, I thought our bench did a really good job. I thought Tim Frazier came in and did a good job. We just didn't have enough firepower to finish the game.
Is it a situation where, Coach, when you see that kind of a turnover number, that you're frustrated and it should be better, or is it understandable because of the pieces you were missing tonight?
No, I don't think it's ever understandable to turn the ball over 22 times. And I think what happened is that some of our turnovers came because we were trying to play in really tight, confined spaces. And against that team, you can't do that. You have to try to spread them out on the floor. And I thought when we did that and spread them out on the floor, we were really good offensively, and we got most of the things that we wanted to have. But when you try to play in a confined space with these guys, then, most of the time something bad's going to happen.
You mentioned Frank. What were some of the things that you liked? It seemed like he did stuff on both ends tonight.
Oh, I just thought he was really good defensively on Mary. I thought he did a great job. He got off to a great start, and then I thought that Frank played him as well as you're going to play him, the rest of the game. I thought he did a great job on him. I thought he played with a lot of confidence, and that's what I like also. I thought he played with a lot of confidence and took the ball to the basket a couple of times. So, he's a rookie. He's going to have good nights, bad nights, but we have to get him out there and give him minutes so that consistent minutes, I think, is going to make him have consistent play.
What was Julius Randle's impact off the bench tonight?
I thought he did a really good job. I thought Joel did a good job starting the game. He gave us those minutes that we needed so that we could kind of keep our rotation the way that we wanted to keep it. thought he was great, and then Georges came in and did a really, really good job. But, I don't think, anybody realized that, he's playing in pain, and he's still not 100%, and, he's still giving us great numbers and doing a lot of good things right there. But, we just got to get back healthy. That's a long season, and, the one thing I do know, no one feels sorry for you in this league. And so we just got to get ourselves healthy and then go back to playing the way we were. I thought we did a really good job the second half of this game of going back and playing the way that we're capable of playing. And, we got to get our guys healthy, and we'll be fine.
How important is it for you?
Oh, I think it's real big, for us especially. He gives us another perimeter player, and, we're just asking a lot of Drew right now. We want him to guard the best guy. We've got him handling the ball. We got him trying to make plays. We want him to score. So, obviously we got to have some other guys step up to take some of that pressure off Drew. Or, we'll be fine when we get our guys healthy.
That was Coach Gentry breaking down his thoughts on the game. What's interesting is the fact that we talk about the turnovers. That's astronomical, man, because the turnovers is the main reason why this team really went down in the hole big time. 22 turnovers on the night. Now, like I say over and over again, man, we talk about the Pelicans playing fast, the pace of play, them averaging an insane amount of points a game. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Now, what I mean by that, that's an old biblical phrase for people that don't know. But what I mean by that in the you're trying to translate that to basketball nomenclature, is the fact that what profits you, what gain do you get by playing fast if you're turning the ball over at a higher rate than what you would if you would play slow? It's just because you're moving faster than the other team don't mean a damn thing. Look what they did against Utah. Utah really turned the Pelicans into a half-court team. Utah don't want to run, so they forced the Pelicans not to. Then outscored the Pelicans and held them way below what they usually would score. And that was done because they were disciplined and they took them away. Elvin Gentry basically helped them beat them by not playing big against big. That was stupid. If you got a 7-footer, what the hell are you leaving them on the bench for? If I got one 7-footer, I'm going to put him out there on that guy. If that's all I could do, I'm not going to put a 6'9" power forward on a 7'2" center and then go out there, go get him, go lock him down, stop them from getting to the rim, and the guy jumping all over the back of their head, dunking all in their face. You think that's good for motivation? You think that's good for mindset to see your teammates getting dunked all over a dozen freaking times because Rudy Gobert's catching alleys at the bucket? In this game here, Gary Harris lit him up, and I told y'all, man. I told y'all Gary Harris and Jamal Murray always light this team up. Why does he always light them up, Q? You know why? Because you got to look at perimeter defense. You got to look at the Pelicans' perimeter defense. When Gary Harris can get shots off, when Jamal Murray can get shots off, they love playing against the Pelicans because they get their shots off against the PELS. The Pelicans have to work on the defense. Now, it goes back to Anthony Davis is this, Anthony Davis is that. And the point is, Anthony Davis is everything for the Pelicans. That's why Anthony Davis is tired. That's why he's getting hurt, because he's doing everything. We need somebody to take this pressure off Anthony Davis. We see Drew Holiday doing what he's doing. We see Nikolai Mirotic doing what he got to do. And they got a lot of candidates out there that contribute as a team to help this team win games. It's not the fact that they don't have enough firepower to compete with the likes of a Utah or the likes of a Denver Nugget club. Both of these games were winnable games that ultimately went awry because of coaching decisions and playing decisions. If you see your garbage ass game plan not working, you have to adjust for something else. Even the assistant coach, the man probably third or fourth down on the total poll as far as coaches go, said in a halftime show that we got to get Jahlil Okafor in the game for Utah to match up against Rudy Gobert, because that man's smart enough to know you can defend 7-footers with 7-footers. And when they put Okafor in there, he slowed Rudy Gobert down just enough, and they put those other guys, and they did just enough to get it running to ultimately get the game close. In this game against Denver, the Pelicans didn't do basically the same thing, but they shot themselves in the foot in this game. You think if they would have hit more free throws and played better defense and stop turning the ball over, if you took away at least 5 or 6 of those turnovers, the Pelicans would ultimately win this game. You can't always lay it at the foot of Anthony Davis is what I'm talking about, people. I'm talking about all the true Pelican fandom out there. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to hear this stuff about Anthony Davis. Well, AD wasn't there, Big Q. That's why we lost the game. Anthony Davis is not going to be at every damn game to play for the Pelicans. Some of those guys going to have to step up and make plays as a team. I ain't talking about having individuals night nights where one guy scores 24 points and other guy does this, that, and the third. We talking about team play. When Anthony Davis is not there, some of those guys get lax and say, well, we'll let AD handle it. But when he's not there, you're going to have to play together as a team to win some of these contests. That's how it's going out. Now, of course, this elbow injury, at first it turned out to be just one game. Now it's multiple games. Now, who knows what's going to happen next, But we'll cover the rest of this game, and then we'll preview and we'll get some other news on the other side of the break. You listen to the Pelican post-game report. Stay with us.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans.
Attention, everyone.
Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. Now, this hot off the wire from Mark Spears. He's reporting that Coach Gentry says that they will determine after shoot-around tomorrow if forward Anthony Davis, who's suffering from a sprained elbow, will play against the Warriors. So at first they sold us the idea, okay, it's just a sprained elbow, he'll miss a game. Then it was 2 games. Now they have to wait for shoot-around. So this injury is a lot more serious than initially given to us, because at first it was like, okay, just a sprained elbow. They popped it up on us before the game started. It was like right before the game that it happened. Now all of a sudden he's going to miss another game, or they got to wait to shoot around to see if he's ready. So I don't know, man. This is weird. I ain't gonna say it's weird, but it's strange how they handle it. They usually say, well, this is the third, or this, that, and the third. But when dealing with the medical staff for the Pelicans, I'm a little jaded when it deals with those guys because I don't trust them. You know, their history with Misty Surrey and all that foolishness that happened with them. He's over there. Their medical staff, they suck. And I know it's Oshner and all of them people, and I know they got a monopoly on hospitals and all that stuff in the area, but I'm just calling it like I see it, man. Anyway, let's get back into the comments dealing with Elvin Gentry earlier. And you heard what he had to say about the team's performances, but of course you're going to hear him say, we can't turn the ball over 22 times and expect to win. We have to move the ball. The Denver Nuggets is not afraid of the Pelicans. You know, why should they be? Neither Utah. Utah licking their chops to play the Pelicans because Elvin Gentry basically has turned this team into a small ball team. He moved his best player to center, which I was totally against this. And I talked to Scott Cutchin, NBA insider from the New Orleans Advocates. Shout out to him. And I told him I didn't like this move. I told him that I didn't think Anthony Davis should be playing at the 5 position. I think he should be at 4, and you need to find a big to play the 5 to battle with the 5s. Anthony Davis is going to get beat up by some of these traditional centers like Rudy Gobert. I named Rudy Gobert because Gobert gives him problems. He gives everybody problems. Then Steven Adams is a brute. I was against AD playing in the most physical position of all of them, which is the 5. Didn't like it. But ultimately, Elvin Gentry believes in playing small ball. He wants to play small ball, and he wants to run like the old school Lakers is, and I just don't think that's healthy at times. You got a 7-footer like Jahlil Okafor. You ain't bring him in to sit down on the goddamn bench and play 15 minutes of the game. You know, you have to be able to know how to mix these matchups. Sheik Diallo is getting times because Sheik Diallo is forcing his way into the lineup. So is Frank Jackson. Frank Jackson, Sheik Diallo, those are energy guys. When both of those guys are on the court, they make things happen. So they should be two of the first guys off the bench. You have to decide on which your 5 is going to be off that bench, which your top bench guys are going to be. You know, and stick with them so they can build some type of camaraderie. You got these guys playing together and they making mistakes because they're not used to playing together. Elvin Gentry's got to establish his top 5 guys off the bench, bottom line. Anyway, let's look at some of the statistics in this game. Nikolai Mirotic finished the game with 17 points. Of course, he wasn't the leader. Why they keep playing Solomon Hill? Maybe it's because they feel like, hey, we don't want to waste the money. Let's play Solomon Hill. That's the only reason I can see why you would say, okay, let's play Solomon Hill, because we don't want to waste the $12 million because he give you good defense, but he sucks on the offensive end. He only turned in 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting, 0 of 2 3-point land. And this one in 20 minutes for Solomon Hill. And, of course, Nikolai Mirotic, 17 points, 10 rebounds in 38 minutes. Off the bench, Julius Randle played 27 minutes, 8 of 13 from the field. He had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 24 points for him to lead all scores for the PELS. And, of course, Sheik Diallo, 14 minutes of play for Sheik Diallo. He turned in 8 points, 5 rebounds on 3 or 4 shooting in 14 minutes. When he makes it, you got to give it up to Sheik Diallo, man. First of all, the guy was buried on the bench. Only one person was ahead of him on the bench, underneath him in the bench, and that was Kenrick Williams at the end of the bench. I mean, Sheik Diallo continues to play his way back into the rotation, and shame on El Gentry if he don't play this man more. You know, maybe we need to get Gentry some bigger glasses or something, because you got to understand, man, these young guys, you got to let them play so they can develop. And of course, Frazier played. He only had 5 points and 2 of 2 shooting for 20 minutes in the game. So, and of course, we know about Elvin Gentry not playing, and Wesley Johnson, for whatever reason, didn't play in this game. We could have definitely used his defense. On the other end, the top scorers for the Denver Nuggets, 18 points for Paul Millsap. The top scorers was 23 for both Jamal Murray and Gary Harris. 23 both. Once again, lit them up. I told you, those guys light the Pelicans up because of that perimeter defense, man. They just do not respect the Pelicans' perimeter defense, and we do realize that you don't have Anthony Davis to protect the paint, and of course one of your best point guards in defense, Elfrid Payton, is not there. So let's not forget Elfrid Payton's ankle and Anthony Davis's elbow. Both of those guys are out. Now let's move away from that depressing matter, and let's look at the next game that the Pelicans got coming up against Golden State Warriors. Now, of course, the Warriors are a team that Klay Thompson just exploded for 14 3-pointers. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some ridiculousness like that. And then you get this team, and you're talking about rebounding against a team like this. I'm hoping that the Pelicans don't win 4 and then lose 4. It don't be that kind of swing, but they're saying Anthony Davis is going to play. But even if Anthony Davis does play, it's always a tough battle when you have to compete with the Golden State Warriors, especially early in the season. And the schedule makers like messing with us, man. You know that they like messing with us. They put the Golden State Warriors there. They got this tough road swing with Utah. We could have beat them, should have beat Denver. But, at the end of the day, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? I mean, the Pelicans have to figure out, and Elvin Gentry got to learn his bench and start playing his bench. Anyway, they got one coming up tomorrow. It's in Golden State against the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be interesting because DeMarcus Cousins is not going to be in the game, but a lot of people believe that Golden State's going to whip the Pelicans' tail. The Golden State's sitting at 7-1. They're looking terrific. Pelicans are 4-2 after taking that slide. Steph Curry's averaging 32.5 points, man, through 8 games. He's shooting 54%, and the Pelicans' top scorer as it stands right now with Anthony Davis playing is Nikolai Mirotic with 23 points a game, shooting 51%. Top rebounders for the Pelicans without AD is Nico with 9.5. For the Golden State Warriors is Kevin Durant with 7.5. And the top assist man, Drew Holiday, with just about 8 assists a game. Draymond Green is the top man for the Golden State Warriors. Now, looking at this game, Anthony Davis, of course, day-to-day. So is Alfred Payton. Darius Miller is also day-to-day. He's one of the three-point shooters that we're not talking about Darius. We're really missing Darius. He'll come in and knock a couple of threes down for him, and we're really missing Darius. At the end of the day, the Pelicans averaging 122.5 points a game. Golden State at 124. Now, the Pelicans giving up 118 or 119 a game. The Golden State Warriors is giving up 111 a game. So the Golden State Warriors are a better offensive. I got more firepower than the Pelicans. That's definitely the case. And then they're better defensively. Then if that don't float your boat, this team as a team is shooting 52% from the field. Pelicans at 49%. Pelicans average about 47 rebounds a game. Golden State's 45.5. Pelicans about 28 assists. Golden State's almost 30 assists a game. Blocks a game. Pelicans 6. Golden State is there with 6. Steals a game 8 for the Pelicans, 8.5 for Golden State. And of course the Warriors on a 5-game winning streak. The Pelicans going the other way, losing 2 in a row to both Denver and Utah. Last 10 games, 4-2 for the Pelicans. For the Golden State Warriors, 7-1, as they were able to. They're hot. And you asked me what my call is going to be in this one. This is an easy one for me to make. Even with Anthony Davis is there, I still give this game to Golden State Warriors. Why, Q? Because I just for them, it's too much to ask for, man. You have 4. You got really. This is excellent. This is a championship team, man. You don't think for the second that Golden State's going to forget what the Pelicans did to them at the end of the season last season? They're going to remember that. The Pelicans smacked them down at the end of the regular season. The Golden State Warriors are going to remember that, and they're going to return the favor. They're boiling hot. Now, of course, I would love to pick my Pelicans to beat Golden State Warriors, but come on, man. Come on. Be real. You turn this podcast off and say, well, the Pelicans going to beat the Golden State Warriors the way they're playing. No. We got an injured AD. You got an injured AD, and you don't know exactly what's going on. Alfred Payton's not going to be there. No, that's too much to ask for. The Pelicans, they're going to lose 3rd in a row. I hate to sound like that, but I'm a realist, and you should be too. But that'll do it for the show. The Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network. Thank you guys for listening today. I hope I had better news, but hey, man, sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's not. If you enjoyed the show, please go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Help us out. Be a contributor. Also, you can go to our social media pages. Those links for the Patreon page and the social media pages are in the description section below. And another way you can help the show is by going and support our sponsors. Go buy something from one of the sponsors, the commercials you hear. Those sponsor links in the description section below. And from me and the crew here at the Pelican Post Game Report, thank you for listening. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. T-Box temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture. And like with T-Box, shopping for fresh, loose-leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out tbox.com. That's right, tbox.com. Check the link in the description section below. What's up, sports world? It's Big Q talking at you from the PRO Media Network, letting you know that we're attempting to make things a lot simpler on our listeners and viewers of our mini podcast. So as a result, we're leasing down a lot of our shows to have their own channels for your convenience. Starting soon, shows like Ring King Box, LSU's Tough Tiger Talk, the Pelican Postgame Report will all have their own individual YouTube channels. So thank you for working with us during this process. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your donations and support for our platform as we continue to improve moving forward. Peace. Newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessories, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products, and you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think Newfrog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, poshlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to theposhlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFE, style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
There's a reason he's always Employee of the Month. And why no shirt and no shoes is no problem. There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAstore.com has all the gear.